Hi, welcome to my channel Stitch and Style by Nadia, and it's another Friday Sews. I've also not been feeling 100% again this week, so I've had a lot of time for sleeping, resting and trying to get better. I have also had a little bit of energy to do a little bit of sewing, so I do have two things that I can share with you. But thanks first to everybody who sent me a get well message. That was really kind of you. I do really appreciate it. So first to share what I'm wearing today. I'm just relaxing and recovering from my illness. So I'm wearing the Zadie jumpsuit today. In this, it's like a burgundy colour. I absolutely love the Zadie jumpsuit. I have two versions, this colour and a green colour, both plain cotton, and I really enjoy wearing them. The first thing that I made up this week is these Helen's Closet Winslow culottes, and I will just pop them on in a minute to show you how they look. First of all, I'll just share some of the details. So this is a sand-washed cobalt blue viscose twill fabric that I got from Rainbow Fabrics quite a while ago. I actually got it in October 2020. So yeah, this has been in my fabric collection since then. It's a beautiful fabric to work with, so nice. If you look at it close up, so it's not a deep twill, but you can kind of see the twill in it, and I just love the colour. So I'll put up the line drawings of the Winslow culottes now so you can just see those. It's got two box pleats on the front and two identical box pleats on the back, and there's an invisible zip up the back, and they're very wide-legged. You can make them in 4 different lengths, which is the 4 different versions. There's 2 lengths of shorts, a culottes and a full length version. Because I had lengthened the crotch depth by 1.5 inches, I had to cut view D but take 2 inches off the bottom. I might have just squeezed out view D if on the 2 meters of fabric for my size, and I cut a size 12. I have actually just lost a little bit of weight from my not being 100%. My appetite kind of went the first week, so I have just dropped a little bit of weight, and I think that affected my waist measurement. So now I've made up these culottes, they are slightly too big on my waist. My waist measures 29 inches at the moment, and normally it's 30 inches. This pattern, as far as I know, goes from a size 0 to a size 30, and that's from a 24-inch waist and a 33-inch hip to a 48-inch waist and a 58-inch hip. Now I normally am about a 30 waist and a 42 hip, so waist measurements put me in a size 12 and hip measurement into a size 14, but Helen tells you that you should go from your waist measurement and and use that, because there's plenty of ease in the hips with the box pleats. So I cut out the straight size 12, which is a 30 waist. Now I don't know if I actually did something wrong, but during the construction process, I was a little bit worried it was going to be a little bit too big at my waist. So when I had the front and the back pieces, I actually tuck them in a little bit on the side seams and at the front seams before I attach my waistband, but my waistband only just fit the circumference of my pants, even though I had taken them in a little bit at the front and at the side seams. So that's just something maybe to bear in mind. I don't know whether I'd gone wrong a little bit in how I'd done the pleats or something, but I can't imagine that you would have to ease the waistband in that much, because I'm sure if I'd tried to ease it in, it would have ended up with puckers. So as it is, it sewed up really quite quickly. Yeah, there was just a little bit of fiddling, especially with the waistband. Now, I'm not, I always find waistbands really tricky, because when you're sewing them, I'm not too bad at stitching in the ditch. It's just that because you can't see what's going on on the other side, I'm not very good at making sure that it catches the waistband on the alternative side. I think if I was to make this again, I would perhaps do a little bit of a different construction of the waistband just to make it that little bit neater. But that might just be me. Maybe other people don't struggle with it. The invisible zip went in really nicely. As you can see, it is invisible. I've just got this little tab here, and it's a slightly lighter colour, as you can see. Now, I did have to unpick that because my first attempt, the waistband seams there didn't match up, but now I'm pretty happy with that job. I think that's pretty good. It probably just needs a little bit of an iron. There's a little bit of creasing in the waistband there. But otherwise, I would say it was quite a neat job, and I really enjoyed working with this viscose twill fabric. I did cut out view D, which is the longest length, but then I had to take 2 inches off the bottom of the pant legs because just to fit them onto my fabric. And then when I tried them on and I pinned them up to where I wanted the hem length to be, I tried a little bit of a shorter leg and a little bit of a longer leg, and I asked my husband which he preferred, and he said that he preferred the longer leg, and so did I actually. I did take 2 centimetres off the longest length before hemming them. I'm just now going to put on the culottes to show you them. So here are the culottes without the jacket, and it's just a little bit big on the waistband, as I was saying. So you've got the 2 box pleats there. It just probably need to iron that better. So excuse my ironing. And that's kind of how it looks at the back. The other thing to say is that I did lengthen the crotch depth, but I'm not 100% sure I actually needed to do that. As you know, this is for my sister's wedding party, and I'm trying to build the whole outfit. So I have got a kind of off-white jacket that I'm wearing for my brother-in-law's wedding, and hopefully that might be an option to wear as a top with it. But if you watched last week, then you know that I'm planning on doing something with this fabric here. I'm making a top with it. Now, I've had a look, and I've had a bit of a think about what pattern I could use. Now, I quite like the look of the Tudor blouse. My only concern with that is it might be a little bit short and it might be a little bit low for my preferences. So not 100% on that, but I do like the look of it, especially with the culottes. The other pattern that I like the look of, and that a lot of people have done recently, is the Anna Allen Anthea blouse, and I do really like the look of that. Now I know that comes up a little bit more loose fitting, so it wasn't 100% the aesthetic that I was kind of going for, and I will definitely twirl whatever blouse I make. I decided not to twirl the culottes in the end, because I didn't have any fabric that would be suitable for a twirl. So I just went in and plunged right in and made the culottes. So yeah, maybe that was a bit foolhardy. This is still to be decided, and I'm still having a good think about that. I've not 100% decided on bags and jackets and everything. I think I'm definitely going to keep the hat though, because I think that goes well with both the dress and the trousers. Now I did think about whether it was all a bit too matchy and whether I would go for a different colour, maybe go for a pink hat and a pink bag, although I think maybe hat and shoes maybe should match, I don't know. So I've just been having quite a few thoughts about this, not 100% decided, but I know when I get the outfit I'm happy with, I'll know it myself. And before I move on, I did want to just say that I really enjoy Helen's Closet patterns. I really enjoy her instructions, and I think her patterns are a lot of fun. And she also does a lot of hacks with her patterns. So for this one, if you didn't like the fixed waistband, she does do an elastic back hack, and she writes blog posts to tell you how to do the hacks, and she provides loads of what I think is really good inspiration. I've seen recently Jerry in Stitches on Instagram. If you follow her, she's really fun. She did a jumpsuit with the Winslow culottes as the bottom, and that looked really good. And I've also seen quite a few of the wrap version hack that she also has done. That also looks really nice. So yeah, she definitely encourages hacking patterns and provides lots of inspiration for that. And actually the next thing I've sewn up is also a Helen's Closet pattern, and that's the Jackson tee, and it also comes as a pullover. And this is not something for me, but something for my husband. So just a little bit of background as to this make. So I've made my husband quite a few t-shirts. I've made them white, black and blue. So he normally wears like black for work and then white and blue at home and for going out. And this is one of the best things about me being able to sew, is that I can make my husband's t-shirts, because he is 6'5", and he's also like me, where he has a long torso compared to his legs. So in fact I think we're both around the same inside leg measurement, but obviously he's much taller than me, so that just goes to show how long his body is. And he really struggled to find t-shirts long enough for him, and we even went to shops where they specialise in t-shirts for tall people, but they still didn't fit him. So yeah, I hacked the Jackson tee. I've done a broad shoulder adjustment on it. I've also lengthened the arm side, and I've also lengthened it, and I've I can't tell you how long it is compared to the normal. It's very long. And we did take a few goes to get the length right for him. The other thing to say is he also has a stoma, so he does a physical job where he's bending, stretching, lifting and things. So he needs a long t-shirt because it was affecting his confidence not having a t-shirt long enough to reach below his stoma, and then when he's moving around, obviously it just helps to protect his modesty and everything, and it's just given him that extra confidence. So that's kind of the background to me sewing up t-shirts for my husband. They are quite expensive to make. I got this material, this is 100% cotton material, so it's a knitted material but without any elastane, so there's just a little bit of like stretch on the cross grain but nothing really on the grain line. Making up these t-shirts requires quite a lot of fabric because I can't fit, for the width of the pattern pieces that are cut on the fold, I can't fit two side by side on the width of the fabric, and you really need that stretch on the cross grain to be on the width of the body. So yeah, I'm really limited with how many I can fit out of the length of fabric. So I was thinking of how I could make t-shirts out of the leftovers that I've got, and I came up with an idea of just creating like some colour blocked t-shirts for him out of the leftovers that we had. So and he was happy to go with that and see what I could come up with. So I made him this t-shirt, so it'll be quite difficult to show you, but you can see I've got the blue colour and I've cut out the sleeves, the neckband and the top bit, and created a stripe and then a bottom bit in blue. And I did want to kind of make it the same on the front and the back, but I didn't have enough of the blue fabric to cut out a bottom, so I've just done all black on the bottom, so no stripe. I've not matched it up all that well on the sides. It's I'll show you. Yeah, it's a little bit off on the sides, and I probably should have basted that, which is what I normally do when I'm trying to match up seams, is to baste it in first, check it's right before then I overlock it, but I just overlocked it, so I probably should have done that. I did actually hem it on the front with the blue thread, hem it on the back with black thread, so that all looked neat. Yeah, and they are a little bit of a boring make now I've made so many of them, but it made it a little bit more interesting piecing the pattern pieces together and just working out how I wanted to do it. And I really have to kind of like force myself to make it because I only really like creating things for myself. But I know what a huge difference that these t-shirts make to my husband, and how much he appreciates me actually making him something that he gives, that has actually been, and I don't want to be over dramatic, but actually has been life-changing for him, because it's just given him so much more confidence, especially after having a stoma. That is a big thing for his body to go through, and he can be a little bit conscious of people knowing about it and seeing it. So yeah, that's just made such a big difference to him, and that makes me happy. So I actually have an entry for So Selfless April 22. I can't remember the exact hashtag, so I'll put it down below, which is organised by Adele, So for Serenity, and yeah, so that's that. And I've actually got one more that I've made out of the scraps. The only thing that I've had to do with that one is to put a seam down the centre back, because I didn't have enough fabric to be able to fit it out, cut it out on the fold, that pattern piece. So hopefully that's going to work out okay too. It's the different colour design because I didn't have very much of the blue fabric left. And with my blouse I might get to join in the Sew a Blouse in April challenge as well. I can't remember the exact hashtag of that one either. Unfortunately I didn't get to sew Yellow for Endo. I missed that challenge. I did donate some money to the cause. I think it's a very worthy cause. One of my close relatives has endometriosis. Jess did a really fantastic job with her challenge and raising money and raising awareness, and I think that's really important. So I hope you've enjoyed just seeing what I've made this week, and I hope everybody is safe and well. I really appreciate everybody who watches my channel, so thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.